Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this pre-bedtime little release, stretch, and optional meditation. Let's just hop right into it and get nice and relaxed for our evenings. So, starting in a cross-legged position, we're just going to take 3 deep breaths in and out. Dropping in, letting go of our day so far, and relaxing into the practice ahead of us. For movement, we will start with nodding our heads up and down, up and down. One more time, up and down, finding neutral, and then looking left, right, left, right. Last time, left and right. And then staying here, we're going to start drawing circles with our nose to get in our head rotations. We're going to go 3 times in this direction to the left and 3 times in the other direction to the right. Finding neutral again. Once you're done with your head rotations, placing your palms out to your side in line with your torso and shoulders. We are going to breathe in, lifting our right hand up and over, bending to our side. Taking a nice deep breath, exhaling and coming back to the other side. Inhaling, bringing our left arm up and over to the right side. Try and keep both of your tailbones planted. And just trying to find a nice stretch in your left side body. Exhaling, coming back to neutral. Leaning back onto your tailbone a little bit, switching the cross of your leg, and we will reverse it. So raising our left hand up again and over. Taking a deep breath. And on your exhale, returning to neutral, and then inhaling, right arm and over. Finding one full breath cycle on this side. And on your next exhale, finding neutral again. Now taking our weight forward, we are going to come onto all fours, making sure to stack your shoulders over your wrist and your hips over your knees, keeping your ankles in line with your knees, pressing away from the floor, and we are going to start to find some flexion in our spine, so arching the back to find your cow pose with an inhale and an exhale to tuck your tailbone under, drop the crown of your head to the floor, bring your navel towards your spine on an exhale, and in your own time, inhaling to cow exhaling, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One last round. Inhale and exhale. Finding a neutral spine again. And we are going to turn our fingertips out towards the edge of our mat and all the way back. So your fingers are pointing towards your knees. Going to find some small circles over the wrist just to work out any tension we've been storing from our day, reversing the direction of your circle. I'm sure lots of us do lots of scrolling and computer work, and most of us use our hands all day, so this should feel nice to release after a long day. Now, finding neutral again, we're going to flip our hands to the tops of our hands. This can be a really intense stretch for some people, so you can lean back to take some of the weight off. If this is super uncomfortable for you, you don't have to stay in this position for a ton of time. We won't be here for long anyways, but just reversing the stretch and feeling it in the front of our forearms. Now flipping our hands back so our fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat. We are going to tuck our toes, maybe crawl our hands a little bit further up and pushing up to a downward dog. You can pedal our feet out a little bit here, working through the arches of your feet and the backs of your legs. This will be our only downward dog for today, so don't fret, we won't be here for long. Maybe take a moment to find stillness, see how your dog is feeling today or tonight at the end of your day. Now we'll take a second to walk our hands back towards our feet and finding a forward fold at the back of our mat for just a second, releasing our lower back, exhaling deeply, letting any tension from the day just drop out and down. Take one deep breath in, exhale, and on your next breath in, walk your hands forward and find your way to all fours once again. This time we're going to take our knees wide, toes together. Find your left hand in the center of your mat, kind of a little bit underneath your face or like neck, kind of in relation to your body. We're going to take our right arm up, pulling it across our bodies towards the sky. Taking a nice deep breath, and on your exhale, you're going to thread your hand in between your arm and your knee on your left side, taking your shoulder down to the ground and the side of your head. You should feel a nice generous stretch in your right shoulder. Taking a nice deep breath, relaxing where we are, bringing out the spine. Now pressing into your left arm, coming up, replacing your right hand where your left hand was, and repeating the same thing on the other side. So pulling up with your right hand across your body, And taking a nice deep breath in. On your exhale, threading your arm between your supporting arm and knee. And just taking a second to enjoy your shoulder stretch on this left side. Taking a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, pressing up to find a neutral spine. We can take our knees back in and then kind of coming forward with our weight, finding our belly. We're going to do 3 cobras. On our first breath in, we'll find a nice low baby cobra. Exhaling, coming down. On our next inhale, we'll come up to find kind of a medium. Exhaling, coming down. And last one, inhale, finding the top of your cobra, pushing out of your hands, maybe looking over one shoulder and then the other, and exhaling, release. Now we're going to come to our back side of our body. So raise one arm in front of you, kind of like a Superman position, and press away from the ground with the other arm and shuffle your way to the middle of your mat. So bring your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe roll around on your sacrum, kind of massage your lower back and glutes a little bit. And on your exhale, you can drop your feet towards the ground. Inhale, raise your right foot towards the sky, and you can take it over to cross over your right leg, picking up your leg, keeping energy in both of your feet. We're going to find a reclined pigeon or a nice figure 4 stretch. You can take your right elbow and kind of press it into your right thigh to find a little bit of a deeper stretch. If you want to extend your left leg to the ceiling, that might feel good for you. But just keeping energy in your feet to make sure you find the full stretch. Taking one last deep breath in here and an exhale. You can take your right foot over to cross further towards your left side. Your thighs should be kind of crossed right now. Taking your hands out to a T and then dropping your knees to the left side. Looking right, finding a nice deep twist. Breathing deep, relaxing where you are. On your next breath in, coming up, unraveling, planting your feet on the ground, just to find neutral for a second. And when you're ready, take a breath in, extend your left leg to the sky, cross it over your right thigh, and pull in your right thigh, threading your hands between your thigh and pulling in on the back of your thigh. Or you can grab your knee too, whatever feels good for you. Maybe pressing in your left elbow to to your left thigh to find a little bit more of a rotation in your hip, perhaps extending your right foot towards the sky, whatever may feel good. Taking a nice deep breath in, and on an exhale, take your left foot and bring it towards the right side of your mat to cross your thighs again, finding your arms out and a nice T, and then dropping your legs to your right side, looking left to find a nice deep stretch in your back body. Breathing deep, exhaling, relaxing where you are, trying to keep both of your shoulders flat on the ground if you can. And if you don't come this low, that's totally fine. If you find this is too deep of a stretch, you don't need to do this with your legs twisted over. You can always place a block in between your legs and the ground to bring it up to you. All options to keep in mind. Now, on your next inhale, we'll come up, unravel our legs, give yourself a nice big hug once again, just giving yourself a little bit of compression in your hips, and then opening your knees and grabbing the outer edges of your feet. We are going to ground our shoulders down and kick our heels up to the sky to find a nice happy baby position. A little bit more compression in our hips here, releasing any tension. If it feels good for you, you can straighten one leg and then the other, or you can straighten both. Just one more deep breath in here, and on your exhale, release. Extend your legs out long and find your hands next to you, totally relaxed, just surrendering to gravity, not doing anything, just enjoying. Now, if you'd like to stick around, I'm going to guide us through a little bit of a star meditation to really fully relax our bodies and get us ready for bed. So, closing your eyes, taking a nice deep breath in, we're going to use our imagination here and pretend we are a star floating in space. We have a nice bright light in our center where our belly is. Our hands, feet, and top of our head are the points of the star. And every time we breathe in, our light gets a little bit brighter. We'll take a nice deep breath in and exhale to center. Now on our next exhale, our light is going to travel up to our left shoulder, down our left arm to your elbow, hand, and out the tips of your fingers. And on your inhale, it'll come in through your fingers, up your elbow, shoulder to center. And on your next exhale, breathing deep, It'll travel through your left hip, down to the knee, ankle, and out of your foot. And on the inhale, it'll come up and in through your foot, knee, hip, and back to center. And on your next exhale, you send the light down through your right hip, knee, and out through your foot. And on your inhale, coming back through your foot, up to your knee, hip, and center. Then exhaling the light up through your right shoulder, elbow, hand, out of your fingers. And inhaling through your fingers, elbow, shoulder, center. This time exhaling, the light is going to shoot through the crown of your head, and inhaling back in to center. On your next exhale, it'll go back through your right shoulder, elbow, hand, and out your fingers, and then in through your fingers. On your inhaling, up your elbow to your shoulder and back to center. Exhale down through your right hip, knee, foot, and out of your toes. And inhaling back up your leg through your toes, knee, and hip. Exhaling through your left hip this time, knee, foot, and out your toes. And inhaling in through your foot, knee, hip, back to center. Exhaling through your left shoulder, elbow, hand, and out of the fingers. And inhaling in through your hand, elbow, shoulder, back to center. Exhaling the light out through the crown of your head once again. And inhaling back to center. Now on your next exhale, we are going to shoot the light through all 5 points of your star. So, taking a nice deep breath in, the light concentrating at center, exhaling, shooting it out through all 5 points. Inhale, back to center. Again, exhaling, shooting your light out through all 5 points of your star, trying to be the biggest, brightest star in your galaxy. One last time, inhaling back to center, filling up such a bright light, and exhaling through all 5 points. Inhaling back to center, maybe taking a second to feel the effects of the concentration of your breath upon your whole body, and just fully relaxing where you are. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. if you want, bring your hands together, find them at your third eye, in prayer position. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're nice and relaxed and ready for bed. Sweet dreams.